it's Troy, and today we're watching The Wheel of Time, Season 2, Episode 6, Eyes Without Pity, and I am freaking stressed. I am worried for Egwene, like, that this is not gonna be pleasant, and I just want to grab her and protect her and take her away and keep her safe, and I can't do that. And I'm worried for everybody in general, because this show, you know, it's not a picnic. It is everything, but it's not a picnic. That is the one thing it's not. I adore this show. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and I guess let's go. Egwene. You were getting through this, okay?
I am Renna. What's your name?
I hate the way she's acting like she's just, oh, you just don't understand.
I believe in cultivating a friendship between Soldam and Damane. What's your name?
I mean, sure, you've kidnapped me and brought me here, and I don't have any reason to trust you, but I mean, telling me your name isn't... I know it's kind of trying to...
It would be easier if you just told me.
Egwene, my love, fight the battles that are worth fighting, and just tell her your name. Tell her your name's Susan. Like...
Egwene! Egwene.
What is this place?
Hell. Or is she able to use that gauntlet thing to channel on her, Egwene? By using Egwene's own power? That was a test, my love. She knew you'd do that. Awful as this is, the best chance right now is to just go along with it as far as you can and bide your time. But like, fucking hell. You're getting yourself out of here, and we're getting you out of here if that's not possible. I don't see how it is possible right now, but you're also everything. Fucking stressed. Did I watch the whole of the tiny intro to give myself a slight breather? Yes. Okay. Dream stress.
Can't believe I trusted you.
What makes you think you can't trust me?
The manipulation and grooming is continuing, I see.
There's a coincidence Egwene is there. She's had you dancing on her strings this whole time.
That is very Moiraine.
You know what?
She's also proven herself trustworthy.
If you actually...
I just really want him to wake up. I don't even care about the information at this point.
Want to work with me, I have one condition.
Okay, what was the condition? She's been grooming him for months. I don't like this.
What did she say?
I have to go.
Where? Did she tell you where?
No, away from you. That was her condition. If she sees us together again, she'll kill you.
Okay.
Again, you moved him to Kyrian, didn't you, so that I'd come here?
Yes, of course. Away from the White Tower, where you'd never be able to see him, where he'd never be able to teach you.
It looks manipulative.
She's a Forsaken, Rand. You cannot listen to her.
She has been in his head for months. And she knows him so well. She knows the buttons to press and the way to manipulate him and to get him to do what she wants versus what is the right thing to do. And hello, Matt. Min, if you're truly having doubts, you need to tell him right now.
I'm Aes Sedai who is protecting us.
You really think we should be trusting Aes Sedai right now?
I am not the one who got us into this situation.
Nynaeve, take a moment and take a breath. If this Aes Sedai was working with with Liandrin, you would have been handed over by now. When you wouldn't have woken up here, you would have woken up with Egwene where she is. Like, maybe this Aes Sedai has her own motivations. Obviously, I'm not saying necessarily give her your fullest trust, especially now that you've had it very well proven that Aes Sedai can be not trusted. But at this point, we have no reason not to trust.
The shelter of the Aes Sedai Sisterhood promises it.
Tell that to Liandrin.
Mm-hmm.
Liandrin Sedai?
She's a dark friend. She's the one who brought us here.
And Egwene.
Black Aja.
But also, make sure they know there was a third one and Egwene is, you know, not here.
sorry I left you so long.
I just had to kidnap some young women who trusted me.
First one's free, mostly for my own entertainment.
This is fascinating because, like, there are so many. I've talked about this before, but there are people with the Dark Friends for so many different reasons, and Liandrin doesn't seem sure of herself. She doesn't. She tries to at times, but it's not. She's not somebody who seems to know that she's definitely doing the right thing, or at least, I think she's aware that she's potentially slightly in over her head. You know, the fact that, like, she very clearly despises this Yanshan, if that's what the hell they were saying it, and their process of, like, enslaving women with the power. You know, she delivered 3 defenseless young women who she tied up to their door, but then let them have a little chance of escaping to, like, make herself feel better. I guess she was like, oh, I fulfilled my obligations to the letter, but realistically, the fact that 2 of them got away was a miracle. Like, she obviously thinks what she's getting from the Dark One is going to be worth it, but you can see that she's not cocky. She's not, when she's around them, she's very different. And I still despise her, but I want to know her reason.
Interesting fixation. Why do you work for him? For Shamaya?
Yes, please tell me.
You hate men.
Mm-hmm.
You swore your oaths to keep him alive, but this is not life.
He's holding you back. Last tie to the girl you used to be.
Just gonna let Lanfear do it?
And starved, and forced to marry before she bled. A gift only one woman can give to another.
She's letting her do it. I mean, I know that she couldn't really stop. Lanfear is terrifying and a master manipulator and knows everyone's weak spots and how to press them.
To the dark, not to Ishamaya.
So are they saying that her oaths were to keep her son alive? That was like what she was getting out of it was her son alive, and then they were like, well, yeah, technically just on his deathbed for forevermore is alive, like. And now Lanfear's gonna try and mold her into a mini-me, which is terrifying. You love you, Loyal. Was she scared he almost was too powerful?
Non-Shan seem so bound by their so-called honor they don't even worry about someone stealing it.
But what of Egwene Althea?
Mm-hmm.
There's a place on the outskirts of the... There are far more guards there than around the Horn itself. The Horn is what matters, Builder. We
will find a way to get to her.
I love you, Loyal. I mean, to be honest, I feel like get the Horn, send someone, like, that's fine, but it's just, I mean, it's not just the Horn, obviously, but, like, Egwene's a focal point, okay? That makes her really important too, but you also have to save everyone. I think it's interesting, the idea that there isn't much security around the, like, prize the goods, but there is loads around the Damane. Now, is that because they're afraid that there is a way that if one of the girls were to escape, or is it just simply they think people are more likely to want to go and rescue their stolen loved ones, or think I don't want my daughter to be a slave or whatever, and they're more likely to go and try and fight to get their girls back? Whereas objects you can just replace, or is there actually more security than there would seem? I mean, it's kind of, as with all the cases, there are so many slaves around who so clearly will loathe and despise their so-called masters, because that is the way the world works, yet they are so powerless to do anything. And I just really hope at some point I get to see some slaves murdering some sea shan, because the evil sea pirate people, as I will continue to call them, are bitches. And that is a kind word to them. Call it the kennels.
There, if anyone can survive that place, it's her.
You can do this, my love. I don't wish this upon anybody, but you can do this. That's what she wants to do, but it wouldn't happen because she'd feel the pain twice as much. Sweetheart.
The Damane cannot touch any object she believes to be a weapon.
Jesus Christ. Yep.
Not while she wears the Adam. It's hard, I'm sure, to have grown up thinking that you were a person only to realize that you were a Damane instead.
She is more of a
But
person
you
than
cannot fight
you.
what you are, Egwene.
It is just breaking you down bit by bit, isn't it? So then when you're broken, they can build you up how they want you. What are the chances she gets out of him this episode?
We will do no more training until you can accomplish this simple task. But you will never be able to hurt me.
Oh, I can't wait for the day she does. Like, in so many ways, this kind of, I think we could be friends, like, faux kindness is so much worse than if she was just being I mean, she is being evil and abusive, but like if that was just her manner and her demeanor, but the kind of like, oh, I think we can be friends and this is what's best for you, it's just so insidious. And I don't have a collar on. I could smash her over the head with something. Hope like that there is people know you're here, people who are currently free. Sweetheart. My heart is very heavy right now. I wonder if they've said to her that they've captured the other two. Because that would break her spirit more than anything, to think that there is nobody out there that knows where she is and knows that she's there. Whereas if she thinks, well, Elayne and Nynaeve escaped, she knows Nynaeve's not going to just sit on her hands and be like, well, Egwene's lost. She's obviously going to tell people, kick up a fuss and trying going in there single-handedly probably wouldn't work too well, but you know, like, she will not stop trying to get her out. That would give you some hope. So I'd imagine they've said to her, your little friends didn't get too far, we caught them last night, or something. And as much as you'd initially try to be like, well, I don't believe you, I don't see proof, that would break your spirit eventually, to think no one was coming. Whereas, like, the idea that someone could come, but then you look at the scale of where she is, and I'm like, how the frick are we going to get her out of there?
Good of me. If you want to be free, make sure Matt leaves with him.
You know what I saw.
So either he wants Rand dead, or he knows there's more to the thing, or he thinks it'll push Rand more to the darkness. Just stressed. Something that occurred to me was when they were like, don't tell Lan about this prophecy, is that his name is Lan, and I know it's like a shortened version of his name, and she's Lanfear. Does Lan fear her a lot? Is that a thing?
We have always supported you. But if you are dark friends sworn to Lanfear, you shall not leave this place.
Of course, so the prophecy, they know he can read it, because he can read it, because someone pointed out in one of my comments that, like, he can speak the language, and of course he can. Why has he not acted on it? Or done anything about it? So they think he has that because he's a dark friend.
Move aside.
Just tell them. Tell them something. Please, like, don't think they're secretly dark friends.
We found the dragon wall.
Stay awake, please. Oh, he's not. He's not awake. And this is everything he's tried to protect them from. Rand, this isn't happening right now, okay? And it will never happen. I know it feels real.
Is where you're headed.
So she let him in his dreams again? Or that's her pretending to be him? So, like, he'll be the mean thing in Rand's dreams and she'll be the nice thing.
I thought about what you said. About the lies I told you, and you're right.
And he keeps, like, a good few feet between us at all times.
Trust me. So let me start now.
Please stop touching him. She's not doing well.
Egwene?
She's gonna think she's losing her frickin' mind. She thinks you're dead, sweetheart.
Is that you?
It is him.
No. What happened to her?
Crueler than not letting him see.
Where is she? She's supposed to be at the White Tower.
Trying to break him.
Please, Lanfear. Celine. Please.
Bless
If you
him.
ever cared about me, just... Please. Just tell me where she is. Tell me!
Ishamael has her. I told you he'd get them.
She is still manipulating him every second, and I hate it so much.
I'll do anything.
Don't say that, my darling.
Marnie cannot touch anything she believes to be a weapon.
No, we are not Damane.
I mean, that's
Can
a
you
good
tell
way
me where we are, please?
to space the cells out. Have newer people but next to people who are like brainwashed already or closer to the way, because that way like you lose hope when you try and like speak to someone and you can't have like a friend next door. You've got like a brainwashed person next door. You just keep going second by second, okay? That's all you have to do right now is get through this. Yeah, so she's a Damane. And then...
Girls.
I'm still not entirely sure whether the ones above the Damane, and if they explain it in this episode, then obviously don't worry about finding it in the comments. If the Damane hold keepers, I can't remember, she said, began with S, the name she said, are also powered, and why their class is different to just a Damane is that, or do they get their powers through the collars that the girls are forced to wear that kind of transmits the power to her a little bit?
I've just spoken to her.
I think that's it. When she puts the gauntlet on, she has power, and when she doesn't have the gauntlet on, she doesn't have power. And I initially that does make sense actually, because initially I was thinking that when Egwene reached for the jug to smash it over her head, that she pushed her back, but it was because the collar stops you from being able to touch something you believe is a weapon. Okay, I think I've clarified that in my head. If I'm wrong, let me know. Or just you can explain it better. And I was talking quite loudly over what she was saying, so I didn't really hear the beginning of it.
We have to work out how to open this.
Yes. Let's work that out. Yep. Right. I'm no help here, but I will give you coffees and teas. Like, we're doing this all night, no sleep.
Look. Don't you remember?
Boy. I love Will Tudor as an actor. I've seen him as an adorable droid in Humans. But I've also seen him in Shadowhunters, and so I'm instinctively just distrusting of him, even though I think he's a really lovely guy. I don't know. He's a good actor, but...
You said that I made the best sandwich.
You've hurt my son's feelings.
What was so important that you couldn't come home and hold your own father's hand while he left us? I know you never cared for me.
Fate of the whole world.
But
I mean, she
loved
could
him.
have come home too.
You always
Oh, and she does
loved
care
him.
for you. She's just got duty.
What was so important?
Don't tell her though. I don't know that we can trust her. She's too political.
Out of this house and out of this city. Tomorrow.
I am the elder sister. I am the Damodred heir. And this house is mine if I want it. You and your son are here by my good grace.
Fuck. Moiraine is a master of seeming like she's not bothered by things and knowing how to kind of keep control of the situation. But you can, I mean, even without seeing her visibly upset, which she only ever lets herself be alone, obviously she cared about them from the way she interacted. Oh no, is something gonna happen to Swan? Or is it... Because the Amelin seat would be her downfall, but I'm really scared that, like, if she dies and, like, Liandrin becomes the Amelin seat or something, I lose all hope for anyone. Please be land, 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 please be land.
Lan. It's Moiraine.
She is currently trying to write to you to tell you.
And now your only chance of making a difference is me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Make it yours. No pretending, double hiding. If you want power, you take it. Careful, boy, don't take too much. You could burn yourself out. Let go.
Rand! Okay, that was a not so great first step. How are we doing?
There's not enough time.
With that much power, you can do anything. Fight anyone.
Oh, sweetheart. You're gonna see Matt. And oh, that is Matt, isn't it? I'm gonna be freaking happy if Matt and Rand reunite. I'm gonna ignore the dream. I'm calling it a dream vision because I'm ignoring the vision. That's just not gonna happen, and if it does, it's a little boo-boo. It's gonna be fine.
Very easy. Put money in, yeah, money in, please. Right, that is
I'm just happy for any reunions, even though this one makes me scared.
We're going for what?
Oh. Oh. I refuse to think about the vision right now.
Light's name, will you?
And where is your hair? Mate, you look bloody awful.
Right, well, where's everyone else? Are they here? Where's Perry?
No, it's just Rand.
Alright. Now this first round is on you, given that you bollocksed up my rock.
Oh, like, how much they love each other is just so clear by the fact that they didn't, like, they could have just hugged and then just, but both of them just wanted to keep holding on to that friend that they thought they would never see again. And I'm just emotional right now. And I'm refusing to think about the stress that I'm also thinking about because I can't stop thinking about it. And then we haven't rescued Egwene yet and I'm stressed.
These people intend to bring the whole world under their Empress's control.
Have you not sent back word?
And one was taken.
That's the head.
Call it an Aes Sedai.
Not just an Aes Sedai. A sitter of the Blue Ajah.
Is that who's next door to Egwene?
My sisters and I did not always agree. But there was no question of our loyalty.
That's
to one
what
another and to our purpose.
You would have thought with Liandrin, and if Liandrin is dark, how many others could be too?
Have this.
Oh, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I love you, and you just have to keep strong.
You can't remove it. You want to know who created the Adam?
A monster.
She was a sister of your White Tower.
She was also a monster.
I want you to use your power to the fullest extent, the way you were born to.
For us, under our control, without any free will.
The collar on her neck.
Mm-hmm.
Damane, and a powerful one.
She's more of a woman
I
and a
hope they
human
told
than
you
you
at your
are.
White Tower just how special you are.
Stealing other people's powers, yep. I got a bit muddled in the middle there, but it makes sense now.
See? Feel the sap running through its branches. Let it grow warmer and warmer in your mind.
Is she gonna burn the tree down?
So hot. I guess it's the power we are meant to wield.
You were not meant to wield a drop of it, you monster.
Infinity? Pour yourself some water. You deserve it.
You lunatic lady, you were just like, the tree gives you hope, doesn't it? And then she just had someone stealing her power. You are a monster. You were delightful and wonderful, and I hurt you, and you were a monster. There we go. Can't wait to watch you burn like that tree. I love you, Egwene.
If we don't find Egwene before the ship captain leaves, you should go.
She's my friend. And I've never had one of those before.
I don't know. I thought everyone would be better off without me, safer.
Thanks.
No. We're not better off without you, Ren. Promise you that.
Thank you for telling him that, Matt.
Without you either.
Thank you for telling him that, Rand.
He has Egwene in farm. And I know they want me to go there. But if I don't go, what happens to it then?
So, we go. There's one thing I've got to...
I mean, we do have to go. It's one of those things where we know they want us to go there, but we have to go there anyway.
You don't have to come with me. I mean it.
Yes, I do. Who else is going to keep you from becoming an arrogant prick?
Okay, I'm glad they're together again.
I will be there.
Just never have a dagger on you, Matt, okay? Or is she gonna tell Matt anything? Is the happy reunion about to end?
You can't go.
I haven't told you that I'm leaving.
I saw it.
She's doing the right thing, even at risk to herself.
No. I've already told you I
You kill him. You kill Rand.
You don't, because that's not possible, because that could never happen. And if it happened, it would be in a totally...
The ruby.
Matt, this is the last thing he needed to hear.
Before we met,
The happy reunion was the only thing I had going for me this episode.
I genuinely thought you were my friend.
She does care about you, but that somehow makes it worse. But she did tell you eventually.
I am, that's why I'm telling you.
I think you'll make a wonderful king, Barthanes.
You seem very kind, yeah.
King to make our house proud.
If you live that long, I'm very stressed.
Oh.
The Amelin seat is here.
Yes.
In Kairin. With 14 Aes Sedai, and she's demanded an audience with you.
Fuck. Fuck. Oh, Liandrin's one of them. I feel like we could send the message about Liandrin through post. Through, like, several messages. Have several messengers. Some pigeons. I don't know. Is Matt not gonna go because he doesn't want to hurt him? Sweetie, tell him why. Because if anyone would understand being scared to be with someone because you've been told you're going to kill them, it's Rand. That is literally the reason he told everyone he was dead. So, like, if anybody out there will be able to relate to it, to tell you, like, he gets it, to tell you, like, come with me anyway, or to tell you, no, don't come with me anyway, like, Rand gets it. But, of course, like, he's gonna think, oh yeah, Matt, whenever it gets dangerous, he doesn't come. He gets scared and he doesn't come, and he knows we're going into certain danger and he doesn't want to come with me. Whereas, just like he didn't come with us in the ways when on the way to the Eye of the World. And for Matt, he was so genuinely happy to be back with Rand, to be back with his friends, to be able to do it right this time, to do it better this time, and it's hurting my soul. Because I hate him being alone. Fuck.
I can't let you leave.
So many people that love you are coming for you, Egwene, okay? So many people.
It's the same as when a patient comes to you. You don't have to decide to help, you just help them.
But Egwene, you can do it. Could they release all of them at once? Because that would be epic.
I didn't mean to use so much. It can't be broken.
Hassan, that means the Damane have found us.
Oh God.
I didn't mean to.
They have come to find a channeler, and I will give them one.
Aes Sedai, no.
Oh my God.
Can't do this.
Can I trust you, Nynaeve?
I mean, you've got it, yes. You can trust Nynaeve, but... Cannot wait to watch that woman die. That girl is a baby. Did she ever know freedom? God. Okay, Egwene.
Pour the water.
It's okay to keep fighting, and it's okay to accept that you cannot use that jug to hurt her. Oh God.
We have to help her. If we do, we can't help Egwene.
Nothing exists.
Don't let them take... Do it! Do it!
I mean, we're gonna save Egwene, we can save you too.
Your world.
This is awful.
Pour the water. That's the size of your world. Pour the water.
We are getting that thing off her neck and we are destroying this woman. We can free her, like we're freeing Egwene. It's okay if you pour the water, okay? Because realistically, yeah, that water jug is never going to be a weapon, and that's okay. Doesn't mean there is no hope for forever, it just means that for right now, it's just a water jug, and that's okay. My heart hurts. It doesn't mean you've given up, sweetheart, okay? And it's okay to give up in little pieces. It doesn't mean the big picture giving up has happened, okay?
Good girl.
We are going to destroy you. Okay, I mean, it's not okay, Egwene. Nothing is okay right now, but it's going to be okay. You're alive, and that is what matters. Staying alive is all that matters. You survive. You get through this, and then you can get out. It's gonna... It's gonna be okay.
You lasted longer than I did, child. And I was a sitter of the blue azure.
We are all getting out of this. We're gonna get you out of this, and you're gonna get yourself out of this. That was an incredibly difficult episode to watch in a lot of ways. Genuinely feel on the brink of tears for Egwene. The only thing keeping me going right now is like she's getting out of this, and we're getting revenge. Like, because no one deserves to be treated like that. And when you think about the times it has happened in the real world, and it's still happening in the real world, and just... Okay. So, Egwene. In these situations, in times like that, survival, that is what matters. You get from step 1 to day 1 to day 2 to day 3. You keep the belief that people are coming for you. You know they are out there. We didn't see them say to her, oh, we caught your friends. So she can maybe hope they're still out there. But it is a situation designed to break your faith in everything, to break your soul, to break you. And nobody can withstand that forever. It's just, it's not possible. That kind of torture on the soul and then physical torture on top of it. You can't withstand that. The only way to withstand it is to die. And maybe if the alternative is a lifetime of servitude, dying is better, but we're getting you out of this. it's not gonna be fine, but we're gonna get through this and it's gonna be okay. Absolutely broke me this episode. Like, if I think about it too much, I will just start crying. So I just need to keep talking, because if I'm talking, I'm not crying. Right now, at least. I knew that facade of like, I think we should be friends, was just, it was insulting, because you knew that like nothing about this situation was friends. The continual denial of personhood is very true to a lot of how a lot of people are treated, but just absolutely heartbreaking. And I think as a viewer, as a person that is not living the moment, we can say, look, yeah, okay, you accepted that the jug is not a weapon, that is giving in on that small thing, that isn't giving in the big picture, that isn't giving up, that isn't losing all hope, that isn't your only chance of doing anything. You're sparing yourself pain. But to Egwene, it probably feels like she is giving in, that she's letting herself down, that she's not as strong as she thought she was, or that she should be stronger, and like all those kind of mental things. And that is part of how they torture you, and it kills me. Maybe the Blue Aja lady, who I've seen lots of things, I like that actress, but saying like, oh, you lasted longer than I did, and I was this all powerful. I said I will help Egwene feel strong and powerful. I don't know. I mean, nothing about the situation is going to make her feel particularly strong and powerful. The last look we saw, I don't know that it was entirely one of defeat. I think there was a lot of anger in there. And I think this is the kind of situation that it's really about surviving day to day and waiting for your chance. Whether that chance is other people coming and helping you, whether that chance is there is an opening, it is, if anything, if you can kind of appear to be the model, the person they want you to be, but just be gathering information, it can do so much better. I am glad to know that Lothal is a freaking planet in Star Wars, and I keep wanting to say that Loyal knows where she is and knows she's there. I'm not entirely sure if she noticed him, given how traumatic the night was when they were in the same room. Perrin, we didn't see this episode. He is also coming. He doesn't know Egwene is there, but if he does manage to get to Loyal will say, well, what about Egwene? And then he will obviously help. We need somehow Perrin to find, or Nynaeve and Elayne to find Perrin, and Sandra, her name was something like that. Rand is also turning up, so we could do with them finding him. I just so heartbroken for Egwene. No one should go through what she's going through. And the sister of the Yellow Aja at the end, I didn't catch her. I mean, Arima, was that her name? Actually, I think I paused to intentionally catch it. If that wasn't her name, I'm very sorry. For her and her warder to go out there like that, to give their lives. They went out there intending to die. To protect the two young women who needed their help, and to protect the wider picture as well. Because they could have very easily said, well, you know, I'm experienced. You two go out there, or one of you go out there. You know, never mind, you're not. And like, you go out there and we'll keep the message alive. We'll come save you, don't worry. But instead she sacrificed herself. And the fact that she wanted to die rather than be taken tells you everything you needed to know. My only one thought is, we can, if we figure out a way to get those collars off people's necks, even though I know Nynaeve was like, it needs to be healed, and the only way to heal it is to put it on a woman's neck, and I don't care. If we can find a way to get them off of people, then we can, you know, save everybody. We can save the Blue Aja lady, we can save the Yellow Aja lady, we can save anyone there that wants to be saved. Everybody that wants to be saved. I fully believe that if you were able to do a mass removal of those collars, there would be more people striking back against their oppressors than not. Like when she was fighting against them and she killed, I think, one of the Sichan mastery people, it was really hard to watch the Damani die, because that woman, who was a woman, was innocent. None of it was her choice. So that was brutal and heartbreaking. And, you know, I feel like in some ways it was good. Not good, obviously, but it was helped that we had like time. I mean, I had a day, but like time to mentally prepare, in the sense that like Egwene was captured in the previous episode. had the hideous collar put on her in the last episode, but like, I spent the last 24 hours worrying about Egwene, but being like, it's gonna be terrible. Like, whereas I feel like if she'd been captured at the beginning of an episode and then a boom straight into it without any time to prepare, that would have been worse for me. I don't know. It was just awful. So the girls are here. They're alive. Now I'm surprised they don't search the shops of the places that the people are in, but I suppose a single person wielding is rare enough in this place, because if you were a wielder with any sense, you would have fled by now to avoid being captured. Obviously, if you're an Aes Sedai who's trying to gather information, you'd stay, but you know, an ordinary person, and she took I suppose with the man, they might guess she was a warder. Our girls have got a big ask on their hands. Now, we need to figure out how to get these damn collars off. Our girls are supremely powerful. They're more powerful than anyone that's come before. Could them working together do it? Can Rand do it? He is the dragon. He's got so much power. He has the other half of the one power. Can that do it? Like, maybe there's a way. I don't know. But he will do anything to save Egwene, even march straight into a trap that he knows is a trap, or a situation that they want him to go to. He will head there. And it makes me very uneasy, because we know they want our characters to go there. We know they want them all to go to Farn. The battle will be held. I mean, he said something about the final battle will be held here, will be in the skies or something, when the dragon will come to us. And given that everyone is currently on their way to Farn, I'm stressed. Because this is series 2, which is books 2 and 3, book 2. Like, it's not book 14, so stressed. But I suppose everyone could be wrong about when the final battle is. They've made a big deal of the fact that if you swear your oath to the darkness, you cannot unswear your oath to the darkness. And that is interesting. In the sense that, like, Liandrin had sworn oaths of Aes Sedai, which aren't exactly oaths to the light, but I guess they're kind of oaths to the light, and then swearing an oath to the darkness overrides that. What would happen if you then swore an oath to the light? Could you override your oath to the darkness? Obviously the dark one would come for you, but like, technically, could you do that? She is still an interesting case, because I don't think that something that is done so well in this show is that people, and I talk about this all the time, people that are on the side of the Dark One are varied. They aren't all moustache-twirling villains who want to rule the world. Even, I feel like Ishamael truly believes that the Dark One is going to fix things and make things better by breaking the wheel. Like, and there may be a degree of truth to that, but the cost is not worth it. So you have people kind of wanting power for themselves, people believing in the zealotry of it, or people wanting a small thing, people getting in over their heads and then losing themselves to it more. They are so varied. And I believe from this that Liandrin's reason was saving her son's life. But then because she was trusting the Dark One and his Forsaken, the life they gave him was meaningless. But then because she's sworn the oaths tough, you've already sworn them. And that Lanfear is going to kind of like take her under her wing a little bit and make her a little scary, powerful mini-me, and that terrifies me. But Liandrin is now with the Amyrlin seat, and that, my biggest fear is Liandrin becoming the Amyrlin seat, because obviously there are people who know she's a dark friend, but as of right now, it is only 2 novices and an accepted who could say that. And she could very well say, oh, they're saying that, but they just fled the White Tower and they're trying to make excuses. Like, if she's in a position of power, it is very much she said. None of them have made the vows of not being able to lie yet. I'm just so stressed with where everything's going. Because obviously, like, if this was, it's all going to be wrapped up this season. I mean, if it was all going to be wrapped up this season, I would be incredibly stressed with how the hell they were going to manage that. But at least you'd kind of be like, well, the worst, can only be so. It can get so much worse. You didn't see Perrin. Lan, I'm glad he told Lana about the dragon. I obviously and he went off to tell Siwan about it as well. Moiraine was trying to do things her own way, trying to not get the tower involved. I wonder if that was partly because I mean, we know they didn't fully trust everybody at the tower, and we know that there are people there who will want to immediately gentle Rand to make sure he cannot break the world. There'll be people with all sorts of different opinions on what we should do. And Moiraine is always somebody who believes she knows the right thing to do. And I do think her motives are genuinely the right, she's doing things for the right reason. Just obviously she can be misguided in that right reason sometimes. But obviously by telling everyone about this, that was a huge betrayal. I'm actually going to be very, very intrigued by the next time Moiraine and Lan are in the same room, because yeah, she was writing to Suan about being stilled. I don't know if she was writing to her about being the finding the dragon. Obviously Suan knew they were looking, but it's just very interesting. Like, was Moiraine supposed to immediately take Rand back to Suan? So I'm intrigued with how this is all going to shake out and what they're going to do from here. We know Suan was in on the search for the dragon, and the going to the Eye of the World, but I'm just so intrigued and scared of where it's all going to go from here. Rand and Matt are still in the same town, which is both good and bad. Their reunion was everything, and I was like mostly able to shove the vision out of my mind and just enjoy the fact that these two boys that love each other had found each other again, and that they could both say, well, yeah, everyone's better off when you're with us. I feel like some of what Rand said resonated with Matt, because I don't think his reason for not going with them was purely, I'm scared, it's scary, I don't want to go. There probably was a little element of that, but if that was all he was feeling, he would have still gone. I think his brush with the dagger made him feel like he was a liability, and that even if he was the dragon, he wouldn't be enough, he would be useless. So I feel like that's why he didn't go. And I think he was really relishing the chance this time to do it right, to be there for them, to help them, to not walk away, and to be forced to do that to protect his friend, knowing that it will make Rand think, oh, he didn't come again, abandoned us again, fine. You know, it's just crushing. Particularly when if you could go up to anybody and say, can't come with you, mate, I'm destined to kill you one day, see ya. Like, if anyone would understand being afraid of being near somebody because you've been told you will definitely kill them one day, I mean, it's Rand, isn't it? But they're currently still in the same city, and I imagine Ishamael is not going to be too pleased with Min, and I'm terrified for her. And then just terrified. I mean, I was hoping it was going to be a friendly dagger or like not real. It still could be not real, I suppose. But an interesting thing is the fact that it was the same dagger. Like, I wasn't entirely sure if the dagger in the vision was the same dagger he had been like obsessed with and attached to. The fact that it is the same one, and we know that it was at the White Tower and someone was going to send it back, I could very easily have seen Liandrin intercepting that, which would mean the dagger is in play, potentially in farm somewhere, waiting for Matt, because the Dark One thinks if he uses that, it'll be easier to control him. The Dark One's plan is to turn Rand's friends and the other focal points to the dark side, to both force the dragon to comply and to have the focal points on his side, I'm guessing, which I'm not a fan of. Oh, I'm just stressed. I'm stressed. I'm like, I feel like I'm not covering any of these points in enough detail, while I also feel like I'm covering them in too much detail. I'm repeating myself. It's going great. So the reunion was everything, and then knowing that Matt immediately I knew Min was gonna tell him the truth, and I'm glad she did, but I also am stressed. I mean, honestly, what that vision says to me, it's either Matt gets possessed by the dagger and just goes on a stabby spree, or it's Matt trying to help Rand, and that could go back to their earlier promise of not letting each other go mad. He could see Rand going mad and try and stop him. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, you know, I also don't think he'll kill him. Oh, I don't want any of them to die. I feel like whatever happens will be a little stabby stab that's some little whoosh whoosh, and he'll be better. I don't know. I'm just stressed. But that was heartbreaking. Matt is obviously still in the city. Rand hadn't walked that far away when he was stopped by Lan and the Aes Sedai, so Matt probably saw that happen, and I imagine will stick around to see what's going on and if Rand does need his help, I guess. Or will he think, well, you know, if they don't do something to him, I am, so I've got to go. I don't know. Rand, obviously, his visions with Lanfear terrified me, and I have been so uncomfortable with every single scene between Lan and Randfear. Lan and Randfear, Jesus Christ. Please don't get CFS at me, because brain fog is not fun. Between Rand and Lanfear, they have been Selene as she was. They have always made me uncomfortable. It was just such a strange dynamic, and I didn't enjoy it. And you know, she did seem to wield more power in it than he did, and I just didn't like it. And then knowing that she's freaking Lanfear, it's even worse. And the idea as well that he's kind of like Moiraine wanted him to go back and talk to her to try and get information out of her. It's just, I get why, and it makes sense, especially given that he was going to fall asleep eventually and they would meet eventually. We need, if anything, him to learn enough about his power and about the dream world so he can kick Selene out of his Lanfear out of his dreams and just have some peaceful sleep. My big fear right now is that he said, you know, I need to know where, I need to help Egwene, I need to do it, I'll do anything. And then Lanfear was like, heh, 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 heh. And then I don't think we saw what that anything was. And if we did and my brain fogged it, please tell me, because I'm very stressed. Like, I don't know whether he's like made a concrete agreement to do something, or whether she's just gonna at some point be like, hey, remember that favor you owe me? Go kill that family. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just concerned, because the way to hurt people the most is through the people they love, and the way to get them to do what you want is through the people they love, and it is cruel and evil, and I'm just so stressed. I think it was really creepy as well. I mean, the moment where Rand and Egwene saw each other was both lovely and heartbreaking and awful, but it was the way... I know Lanfear cut the like vision short before he could talk to Egwene, ask where she was, offer her any comfort, do anything, because she didn't want him to get what he wanted out of it beyond seeing her, seeing she was in trouble, and then therefore being desperate to help her. But I also feel like the fact that he was going to be affectionate to Egwene, that he clearly loves Egwene like he does not love her, made her cut that vision short because she was not happy with it. And that's, he's 21 years old at the most. He's not the man you used to love. He's just not. He's the same soul, but he's not the same person. He has not lived for 3,000 years or whatever. Like, he's young and naive and a little stupid at times and kind and good and brave, and you need to stay away from him. And when I was watching House of the Dragon, I had an imaginary barge pole, which I think I used to say barge pole, that I was using to try and keep all the men away from the young women, and I'm using it against Lanfear now. My pole is in action. Stay the fuck away. She is a brilliant character. Like, she terrifies the life out of me, but I also have my pole. You must stay 6 feet away from Rand at all times. I'm losing my mind. The moment when they got to see each other was everything, but it was also so heartbreaking because I knew it would just mess with Egwene even more with where she was. I mean, it was a dream, and I imagine she has had many dreams involving Rand. I've had dreams with them in it, so I'm sure and I've had dreams with people I've lost in them as well. I'm sure that's kind of all she thought it was, although she's probably like, I've never really seen his hair that short, so that was a really weird detail to have in my dream. But for her to kind of have that comfort, and then to wait to have it taken again, and in her mind, to have to grieve him all over again in a way, because it felt so real, and then boom, he's dead, he's not here. Well, we know he is alive, and he wasn't able to convey that to her in the dream, and I don't know that she just fully believed it anyway. That was just awful and terrible. Moiraine is in such an interesting dilemma in this season, because in so many ways she is powerless. This season, last season, she was making up a lot of things on the fly. She was very quick thinking, that is who she is. But she had a plan, she had a goal. Find this person, bring them to this place, do the thing, job done. That was her goal for 20 years. And this season she's found that that goal was a lie, it wasn't true. It's made things worse. And she's lost her connection to the One Power. And so she's kind of fumbling through, still trying to do what she believes is right, but in a much weaker position than she once was. And so it's just, I love, like, it hadn't even occurred to me that Loghain was there because Moiraine put him there because then she'd know where Rand was. Like, that was a genius move. A very Moiraine move. She is still good at it. And even how, when her sister was threatening to, like, kick her out to kind of take her place of stability, and where she was just, like, the last thing she needed right now would be to, like, leave the city and try and, like, she was able to pull rank, pull that this is really her house and if she wanted it. Even though her heart was breaking inside at the words her sister was saying, she is very good at controlling a situation even when it goes out of hand. But the cards she's working with aren't great right now. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least, in the next episode. I'm very excited for, and scared for the, like, showdown with Suan and Moiraine and Rand. Scared because Liandrin is present. At least I know where she is, you know? But yeah, that's frightening. And I'm so excited for Lan and Moiraine as well. Rand connecting to his power, feeling it. He did feel it, he did let it in, and he let a whole lot of the black stuff in as well. And then it nearly overwhelmed him, but then he has enough power that he could do anything. So things I'm predicting Rand can do are unstill Moiraine, break Egwene's collar. Ideally, break every collar. Just saying. Like, a mass breaking of the collars would do me. I'd have a good night's sleep that night. This show puts me in a very strange mood because I'm just, like, so stressed but so happy at the same time. I mean, I suppose this episode didn't leave me feeling happy, but talking about it has. This episode left me feeling very distraught, like I was gonna cry, and now I feel like I still could cry for Egwene, but I love this show so much. I feel like I've missed talking about things. I just want to give Egwene such a big hug, put a big blanket around her, yank that chain off her neck, and just tell her how proud I am of her, how strong she is, how good she is, that she is the best person, and that she's gonna get through this, and that this is the kind of situation that you just have to take step by step. It's okay to give in a little bit to stay alive, to not, you know, if telling her your name avoids a little bit of pain, telling your name, that's fine. It doesn't mean you're giving up completely. And I'm very stressed with where we're going next. I adore this show. I adore these characters. I need the next episode now, and I actually have to wait a week this time. Like, so I've watched the first 3 episodes. Obviously, they all came out on that Friday, and I watched all 3 of them back to back. And then this week, I've had a lot of catching up to do, and also, like, for my body, like, I have CFS, ME, and my body is recovering from, like, actually leaving the house. So I've taken it kind of slow with my watching this week. So I watched 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, 1 on Friday. My brain is now going 1 on Saturday, 1 on... That's not how it's going to work. So that's not fun. But yeah, I adore this show. I don't know when this reaction is actually going to be posted. It will be as soon as I can edit because I have a lot of editing to do. But I love the show. I'm so stressed. I might have to just go have a little lie down on my bed and have a little cry for Egwene right now. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.